How do you do? It would be a little unkind to present this picture without just a word of friendly warning. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. So if any of you feel that you do not care to subject your nerves to such a strain, now is your chance to, well, we've warned you.
Trying to unmute your mic with your non-good hand while holding a cat is really hard, but I figured we all needed to see a cat today. Fine. What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Wyatt's Metal Podcast, a very bittersweet Wyatt Wednesday. I'm sure I don't have to ask any of you how you're doing. Yeah. So pretty much I figured this whole podcast is just going to be a remembrance to Ozzy. That's pretty much going to be the main topic. I figured that we can share stories. I'll read off people's comments. I pulled up some videos, some like classic moments of Ozzy, some tributes. Yeah, man, just how strange. What a weird situation. I thought about going live yesterday just as it was happening, but maybe it was good to take the time to process it, even though I still kind of am. But yeah, let me just get to some comments right away. I mean, you all, if you're here, you know what's up. It's basically the metal version of Elvis passing away. There were jokes for decades that Ozzy wasn't capable of dying, which no one truly believed, obviously, but it's weird. I saw people commenting that it's not just losing the man himself. It's kind of being in this era of we're now in a time where Ozzy's not around. It's someone described it. It'd be like if someone told you suddenly there's no vanilla in the world anymore. I don't remember who exactly said that, but it feels like that type of thing. You know, but let me get to some comments right away. Projector is the first one, says, won't be joining tonight as I'm watching Warbringer and Creator. Greetings from Tolman. He's in Tolminator. Great excuse. I'll let it pass for this one time, just because you're at Tolminator. Stormier said, this is so sad. Rest in peace, Ozzy. I believe that after all those years, he deserves a rest. He really does. I mean, that's what we were saying after the final show, is he deserved the time to rest physically. Some of the only solace to take right now is that he can rest within his body. He's not in pain anymore. I didn't know this, or I didn't know before. I saw a video. I'll try to pull it up again. Ozzy was saying that in order for him to perform at that last concert, he stopped taking his pain medication because it would make him too kind of dazed and out of it, and he wanted to be fully focused. So he was not only in the chair, being old now, obviously very close to death, but in probably quite a bit of pain while performing that. It was already emotional watching the performance now. And I was rewatching it yesterday. It hits another whole fucking level. Like, Jesus. Yeah. Waylon Cook says, rest in peace to the legend, Ozzy. There'll never be another one like him. Dread says, I'm in genuine shock. A mix of disbelief and sadness is basically the feeling of the day. You wake up and it feels weird being in a world where you know Ozzy isn't here anymore. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. It was similar to Lemmy for me. Lemmy hit me really fucking hard, where it's just like, what? That doesn't make sense. Like, you wake up and there's the sun and there's air and there's Ozzy. Like, that's just how it is. What do you mean he's not here anymore? Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's so easy and good and necessary to mourn in a situation like this. I do try to look at I mean, sounds weird saying, but the positives of it, mainly being that he got to do that final performance with his fans, with his friends, with his family. There was, for years, how many people thought Ozzy was probably going to die by just being high and passing out somewhere? That he managed to go through many ups and downs, pull up a major, I would say, comeback for himself at the very least. You know, he didn't die a fucking addict in an alley somewhere. He went out on top. He was sitting down in a throne, but it was still on top. And yeah, it was very similar to how Lemmy passed away too, actually, because Lemmy had a final like friend concert at the Whiskey A Go Go, a much more smaller version of what Ozzy did. But it was like all of his friends were there. Motorhead didn't play, but like Metallica and Anthrax and everybody were there, and got to see Lemmy one more time. And then he passed away a couple days after. And it's crazy that this same situation would happen with Ozzy on a much larger, more public scale. Earlier today, I was playing Hellraiser with Ozzy and Lemmy. God damn, I got transported back to a time I didn't even exist for. But it's like all of a sudden I walked into the Rainbow in 1983 I don't even know if that song was written then. And just felt the whole vibe, the nostalgia. Man, it was a different time, a different world. I'm genuinely gutted about knowing that Ozzy is no longer with us. You think these artists are immortal and they're larger than life presence, but they're no more immortal than us. That's another aspect of it, is people grew up with Ozzy, who was shaped not only their childhood, but going into middle and old age. I was getting lots of comments from people in their 60s and older who were longtime fans. And it is kind of a massive sign of mortality, really, that, man, what a bummer of a fucking podcast, right, Dave? You guys come here to cheer up and have fun. I'm supposed to be making fun of people, but nah. Strong men also cry. Kyle says, I never cry about celebrity deaths, but I'm been hearing different versions of Mama, I'm Coming Home, and I keep getting choked up. Yeah. I don't agree with the whole sentiment that, like, oh, you should never mourn a celebrity or artist that you didn't know. I saw, not many, but a couple of douchebags in comments trying to mock people for being upset or mourning that a celebrity passed away that, yes, you didn't know in person, but when it comes to an artist creating music, that can affect someone's life in so many ways. How many people literally felt that Ozzy's music saved their life? How many people got married to his music or had such impactful moments? So of course it means something when that artist passed away. No, you didn't know them personally, but who gives a fucking shit? If you were acting like it was your dad passing away or something, and you're barely a fan at all, then yeah, I understand that. But if Ozzy's music had an impact on your life, of course you're gonna mourn that. Don't let some stuck-up fucking dickhead tell you that, like, oh, don't cry over a celebrity. It's not like fucking Paris Hilton died or something. Anyway, I don't even know where the fucking comments are right now. Let me catch up. Shit, where's my fucking mouse going? What's going on here? Gooch, man, I was actually thinking about you when this happened because I know you're a longtime fan. Bro, I remember when Ozzy was getting banned from cities in the early 80s. Yeah, when people thought he was a true Satanist and was murdering pets and shit. When I got into Ozzy was obviously when I got into metal, but that was around the like 2005, 2008 era where, at least in America, we weren't aware of the major European festivals at the time. So in the early 2000s, the pinnacle of metal in the US was Ozfest. And that, like, so many people plan their summers around it. Like, families grew up going to Ozfest. My first metal festival at all was the Free Ozfest in 2007, where I got to see Behemoth, Nile, Lamb of God, where I became a fan of Lamb of God because I was a stuck-up little hater before I saw them live, and pretty much immediately when they started, I was like, I was wrong, they're awesome. And then Ozzy, that was the first time I saw him solo. Zakk Wylde played a solo with his tongue for like 10 minutes. Ozzy was spraying the crowd. That was the weirdest thing about seeing the farewell show, was Ozzy in the chair and understanding why, but remembering how he was the madman running around with buckets and fire hoses and shit just nonstop. Did you see that the final gig raised about 140 pounds, 190 million for charity? Huge achievement. Yeah, I did see that. So all of the people who were complaining at me about not streaming the show for free, even though I put that in the description and the title, and they were saying, oh, I'm not paying $30 to watch Ozzy's final moments on this planet. Well, fuck you. How do you feel now? What kind of a fan were you piece of shit? Not anyone who didn't happen to see it. I mean, specifically the people who were mad at me, who thought that I was going to pirate it for free. I understand people have lives and things happen. By the way, if anyone would like a copy of the last performance to download, maybe send me a message on Instagram. I don't know who said that. Anyway. Hell, Ozzy with Crazy Train and Sab's Iron Man introduced me to metal at an early age. They were also the first two songs I knew by name. Iron Man is one of the first ones for sure for me. I remember having that on my Walkman, or like the first MP3 players to exist. Man. Max says, I am 16 years old right now, and Ozzy saved my life. Like I said, Ozzy saved a lot of people's lives, legitimately. That was one thing I noticed. I was watching these old interviews with him and a couple documentaries about him since this happens. Like ever since the news broke, it's just been Ozzy videos or music nonstop. Because I very much believe in honoring those who passed away in that type of situation. But he was always called the Prince of Darkness and the Madman and all about like Satan and everything. Every single time he was ever on camera or ever on stage or ever talking with anyone, he was all about loving and caring and asking how they were and wanting people to be okay. Like, there was never a moment where Ozzy was like a straight up prick to someone, being like, I'm the Prince of Darkness, so I'm better than you. Like, that didn't happen unless you were maybe his first wife. But you know what I mean? Once he came around, got his life together and everything, yeah, he was a rock star at the very top who wasn't a pompous douchebag. There was never a moment where there was a fan interaction where they're like, I met Ozzy and he was such a prick. Like, that didn't happen ever. He was always caring about the fans so much. That's what's really cool to see. Him and Lemmy, I think, were really legit about that. Black Sabbath is what made my mom a metalhead and understand why I love what I love. Exactly. There you go. How many people were conceived to Ozzy's music? Probably a lot of you watching right now. I said that at the Rainbow too because I thought it was really funny. Like, how many people were conceived here? Anakin's anger management therapist. Besides Joey Jordison dying, making me balls my eyes out. He had balls in your eyes. So much that my mom had to hold me. The same thing happened to me with Ozzy. She held me until I fell asleep from exhaustion from crying. Damn. I can see why Anakin has a therapist. I'm sorry, that was too easy. It was too easy of a joke. I completely sympathize and understand, man. When Lemmy passed away, I had just gotten a new job that I was like trying really hard to get and was like, all right, I need to do my best and look super good here. Within a couple of days, Lemmy passed away. He was still my number one. And oh my God, trying to hold it together then was so fucking difficult. Ozzy's is even adds to the impact because of having done this last show just recently. It's not like you didn't hear from him for a long time and then he passed away. We all just saw him. And I love that watching the footage again when he's doing Mom, I'm Coming Home. There's so many moments in there that are just grabbing on your soul, but there's a specific moment where he reaches for the mic and you can tell it almost looked kind of painful for him, like he was struggling, but then he goes for the vocals. Man, just thinking about it right now, it's difficult. Sierra H says, hey Wyatt, I'm happy I finally got to catch one of your live streams. I love all your videos and your sarcasm always cracks me up. Thank you for that. Rest in peace, Ozzy. He was a huge influence on many bands and us all. Yeah, seriously. Thank you so much. I'm glad you could tune in as well. Yeah, everyone was influenced by Ozzy in some type of way. If you directly weren't, the musicians you listened to were. So that's something to really appreciate. Substitute Metalhead says, I remember reading from Sharon that when Ozzy says he loves you, he meant it. Yeah, it's what it seemed like, genuinely. Tone C with the $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Says my first concert was Ozzy Black Rain tour. Was that when that free Ozfest was? I think it was around that time. I only wish that his family is doing fine. It must be so fucking hard for them. I hate to speculate, but I mean, how can you not with the timing and everything? What exactly happened? I don't know, because even my grandmother was messaging me about this, and she was saying that he didn't seem deathly sick at the show. I know you always can't always tell, but who knows? RZ, I have a copy of the performance, all the fan thank you, and those cut out just performances. I did the exact same thing. I have the whole thing, and I cut out all the commercials and fan stuff, and I cut out the performances I didn't like either. So I cut out Tool. I worry about Sharon too. Yeah, I mean, who fucking knows what happened in the last moments? They said that they were all there. I don't know. It's Tool were easily the worst performance. I'm still annoyed to this day. I've watched the concert repeatedly without them there now, so I'm fine with it at this point. Wing Moonlight with a $5 super chat. Thank you. Good to see you, brother. Glad I got to catch your live. Perfect background for a workout. Yeah, a lot of people give me fucking shit about having my little mini gym and having the same strength as fucking Asmongold. But you know what? Shaming works, so I'm gonna start working out more regularly, and it's all your guys' fault. So fuck you. That's all I have to say. Literally every single member of my family felt a heart-wrenching emotion, even my sister. Yeah, there's moments where someone in particular passes away where you can feel the effect in the force. You can just feel the energy around everyone going through the same thing. It was, since I'm in LA, it was similar to that here specifically when Kobe died. You could literally feel it in the air. And with the metal world and music in general, that's what it is with Ozzy right now. My entire Instagram feed was just people giving tributes to Ozzy, saying what they meant to him, and ads that I can't get rid of. But every real person in account was a tribute to Ozzy. And then my ex account was every like 10th post was about Ozzy, and all the other was political bullshit that I need to block off of there so I don't have to deal with that shit anymore. I don't mourn many artists or celebrities. This one and Jeff Hanneman got me, though. Yeah, man, you're going to be affected. Hearing the words Ozzy Osbourne has passed away is going to affect everybody. Even if it doesn't break you or if he wasn't your favorite artist, that's still like a whoa thing to hear. I think the adrenaline is what kept him in such good shape for the show. You could see his excitement in his eyes. I think he was just happy to get his final wish. Exactly. And I heard Ozzy actually mention now that he was strapped to the chair. So whoever left that comment, you're right. And I can understand why, because if he had gotten up and fallen over, it would have been really bad. But you could see him. He kept jumping up, all excited. That's what made it so powerful. Like there's the worry, the joke that rock stars will just go to a point where it's embarrassing and they'll be wheeled out and forced to perform. And that is not what this felt like. It was Ozzy wanted to do this. And it wasn't, the most him at his prime or anything. But to make it happen is what made it so meaningful. His voice cracking made it more powerful. You know what I mean? Like knowing why he was in the chair made it so much more powerful. And it's got to play some part in the whole timing of everything. There had to be some part of him that felt like he got to say goodbye, because it was obvious how much that was killing him since his final show, since all of his tours were getting canceled. Yeah, man. Hope Ozzy and Randy are jamming together. Man, that is some comfort to take in all this, is that somewhere in the afterlife, the other dimension, whatever you want to call it, there is a bar that's loud as fuck right now with Ozzy, Randy, Lemmy, Cliff, more people I'm forgetting who are definitely there. But yeah, that's when I was listening to Hellraiser with Ozzy and Lemmy, I was like, oh man. Huh. Right now, the afterlife is loud and smells like Marlboro. Cindy says, I was absolutely numb yesterday, wandering around my house in disbelief, and my husband completely fell apart. That was rough. I was reading the comments I was getting on my video about it and seeing so many people who were saying like they were in their 60s, 50s, whatever, saying how long they'd been listening to Ozzy, listening to his music in their room as a kid, skipping school and smoking weed. How many people got their first arrest while listening to Ozzy? Come on. He would have laughed at that. Oh, shit. Winged Moonlight said, bro, I'm nearly blind, so I didn't even notice the home gym. I literally meant I'm having you on in the background while I work out. Well, there you go. Never mind. Kayla said, when I found out Ozzy died, I had just gotten woken up from an EEG. You have no idea how much I wish I was just having a bad dream. Yeah, Jesus. It took me a while for it to really settle in. I think my mom sent me a text, and I was just like, what? And I think I saw a couple of posts, and it still wasn't clicking. I was like, hang on. I think I spent maybe 5 minutes just looking into everything I could until it started actually hitting me like, it's real. This really happened. Literally going to a bar that's playing Ozzy. Every single rock bar in the world right now has to be playing Ozzy and Sabbath. Grill 'em All better be playing it. Rainbow better be playing it. Everywhere. I watched an interview with Gene Simmons where he gave a pretty touching tribute to Ozzy, and I was like, wow, that's insane. It was actually, I was going to pull up part of it. It was kind of nice. I pulled up a bunch of stuff I want to go through, but this will be a very long eulogy / celebration of life. Man, I hope Ozzy and Randy are just now getting exhausted and taking a break from playing since Ozzy arrived. Since Ozzy is there now, is he allowed to drink? Does it count? Can he party again and have it not? In the afterlife, do rock stars get to do all their drugs without the negative effects? I feel like it's fair. I saw a meme that was Ozzy getting to heaven and seeing all the rock stars who died of drug overdose when he died of old age, and it's him going, "It smells like bitch in here." Metal Fan says, I thought it was a joke, to be honest. I'm 24 and I've said since I was 10, I knew a lot about Ozzy's past back then, that the day he dies, I'd think it was a joke. My bandmate was the one to break it. Yeah. I think that's for everyone. It's hard to believe, hard to accept. So, like, really, this, Lemmy, and Dio were the major ones that kind of felt like this, for me at least. Where am I at? Yeah, sorry, trying to catch up. Things going haywire. Fucking computers, man. I caught up on that track he did with Elton John. That lyric, I don't want to die an ordinary man, hit me in the heart, and I started weeping deeply. I really wanted to play that song again because I love Elton John, actually. and I want to give that one another listen at this time right now. I was playing Ozzy earlier, and See You on the Other Side came on, and I had to kind of just stop in my tracks. And there's moments where you have to just take things in, and that coming on was one of them. While I was doing dishes, I just had to stand there. Charlie George with 199 super chat. Thank you. He is there with many people, and Axel's voice. Axel's voice was filling until Ozzy kicked in. They're like, oh, thank fuck. Get the fuck out of here. We finally have a vocalist now. Oh, man. Gene Simmons actually having something positive to say is a wild change. Yeah, let me pull up that for now, and then we'll get to some other reactions and stuff. I'm not gonna play the whole thing, but what was also funny about it was I watched a couple of mainstream news talking about it, like CNN, Fox News, and whatever, and you can tell that the journal propaganda mouthpieces have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. All of them go, Ozzy Osbourne was a singer for Black Sabbath and became a reality dad, and then they just talk about the reality show. But in this interview with Gene, where'd it go? Shit, give me a second to find it. I can tell the interviewer was trying to do that. He keeps trying to be like, you and Ozzy. Yeah, but you and Ozzy. And to Gene's credit, he kept bringing it to Ozzy and kept talking about him. So let me see that. For those who hate Gene Simmons, you are correct. But let him speak his moment here, and then we're going to go to other people. If I can do this correctly. Gene Simmons, fans are grieving. Let me know if this sounds good. If there's any issues, just say so in the chat.
And for some more on the Prince of Darkness, let's bring in Gene Simmons from Kiss, another rock icon. Gene, thank you so much for being here. I'm so sorry for your loss. So many of us knew his persona, knew him as a Prince of Darkness, saw little glimpses on the Osbournes. But how do you remember him?
Well, I remember the man. You know, we 1974, we were both trying to forge our paths, and we actually played on the same bill. And I will tell you that the masses, you know, the fans are grieving. What can you say? It's just broken hearts. And when I tell you my heart, my prayers, and millions of others to Sharon and the kids, people think of him as the Prince of Darkness. And, you know, on stage, of course, this huge persona, you know, a giant, but at the same time, a loving father and a dedicated husband. You can say whatever you want about Ozzy. There never was an Ozzy before Ozzy. You can't really point to anybody that says, oh yeah, that's where he came from. He just, scientists call that a singularity, an anomaly. He was just kind of born Ozzy.
I think that's true. Because you can't, you don't look at Ozzy and think, oh, he came from Elvis. He came from, he credits the Beatles for getting him into music, but you don't look at him and go, the Beatles, you know? It's always been Ozzy or cocaine.
And as far as I know, his entire life, to thine own self be true, the Greeks say. Ozzy was always Ozzy. Through disco, through foipo, through whatever musical genre there were, Ozzy was always Ozzy, all the way to the end. I mean, it was shocking to see him on his throne with everybody paying tribute, as well they should, to Sabbath. There wouldn't have been Metallica and lots of other bands. And Ozzy was just, and he was just, giving it all. Man. And you couldn't tell. You couldn't tell. And a week later, devastating. I mean, the fans... my social media and my phone's been off the hook. People are just crying. They're just devastated. Man. What can you say?
Yeah. I mean, truly, the way you describe it, it's somewhat of a poetic end to a poet. He was I mean, when you listen to his lyrics.
Listen to this dude. He has no idea what he's talking about.
He was a poet. And yet, as a musician, I'm not a musician, but I do want to take you back to 1974. And you guys are sharing that bill. As a musician, and you hear Ozzy Osbourne, what goes through your mind?
Well, it even started before that. My first impression of Sabbath was a full.
Hang on. Wells Fargo says he still sounds so shallow when he talks like he doesn't mean it. Do you really think so? Because I honestly don't hear that. It sounded to me like there was genuine emotion. He's not breaking down crying, but it sounded like there was genuine emotion to me, like a strong stoic man. Gene's not one to break down, but I don't know. I bash Gene all the time. Happy to do so. He's a massive prick, but I don't get that coming from Gene right here. Especially in the interview, keeps trying to keep going, but you and Ozzy, and he keeps only mentioning Ozzy. He's not like, when we were there, I showed him this, I'm all for bashing Gene, but I don't agree with that.
Full page ad in the back of Rolling Stone, and it said, Black Sabbath, louder than Led Zeppelin. And I went, oh yeah, that's the coolest of the cool. And, media being what it is, it promotes everybody. But then when you see Sabbath, it just, certainly at the time, there was nothing like that on stage. And when you saw Ozzy running around on stage, you're thinking, this is somebody who should be committed. Just a crazy man. And giving full. I've never read or saw a Sabbath show ever where you got the sense that Ozzy was just going through the paces and, oh boy, here's the song you wanted, greatest hits. He never, they never played the game. The I love you, you're the only one for me, you broke my heart. Those lyrics, which are, let's face it, they're not true. They just sang what they, and it, people don't realize that Ozzy, though he didn't play an instrument, those are.
I think what he said right there was so factual. I don't think there was ever a performance in Ozzy's life where he went through the motions, where he phoned it in, or he's like, oh, I got to get through this show. Then just, even if he was fucked out of his mind on drugs, he was always genuine about it. He was always looking forward to being on stage. I'm sure he knows exactly what that experience is like, of wanting to just get through a show so you can be done. Gene's like, wow, I didn't know someone could actually do that. But no, I completely agree with what Gene said there.
His melodies. That's him writing melodies and lyrics and crafting that sound, that enormous guitar that Iommi has that just, shook the heavens, the guitar that ruled the world. Ozzy, there never was one like him and probably never will be.
And when you look back at that time, and you look at the birth of heavy metal and the evolution of like the modern rock.
Like, oh God, my script writers, please type this quickly. I have no idea what the fuck we're talking about.
Show. It was Ozzy, and it was also you. You were almost like right brain, left brain. There was the genius of the madman in Ozzy, and then there was the calculated mastermind of the demon. And
no, but so clearly, what? This is what I'm blah, 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 blah. Words. I'm turning into Ozzy here. See how he's trying to go, but you and Ozzy, Gene right here is gonna go, no, Ozzy.
And you were in the same sphere.
The dedication of stagecraft, of being up on that stage, and your job was to make everyone forget that the world is not such a nice place and that there are traffic jams and you argue with your girlfriend about all kinds of stuff. But when you come there, it's electric church. The fans and the band. Everybody say, yeah, black, and everybody go crazy. You saw Ozzy whenever he did that.
100%.
Strangely anti-metal, anti-anything, anti-all the rules. Ozzy would open up his heart and he would yell out with all the passion that he had, I love you all. Who says that when you're the Prince of Darkness?
Right.
No, that's the real Ozzy. He was always really just Ozzy.
See? You're right in hating Gene, but I want to give that credit right there. The interviewer tried to go, you and Ozzy, and he only talked about how genuine Ozzy was. So credit for that. And not falling for the stupid reporter shit.
And with no excuses. And at the same time, the dark figure up on that stage, if you saw the reality show, I mean, truthfully, there wouldn't have been a Gene Simmons Family Jewels. We had our own reality show.
We don't have to say something good. But yeah, I actually was impressed with Gene's tribute there. Journalists aren't people, someone wiser than me. Yes, this is a fact. Journalists and politicians are not people. But everything he's saying for a change is correct and not about himself. I'd almost think Gene isn't feeling well. Yeah, that's what surprised me. But we have other musicians, other people who gave tributes I would like to get to. Not a fan of Youngblood, but seeing the video of him gifting a custom cross back to Ozzy backstage melted my heart and made water come out of my eyes today. You might want to call a plumber to see why you're leaking from your eyes. But gotta give credit where it's due. Youngblood earned so much respect from that performance at the Ozzy show. I absolutely do not like his music at all. I'm sure most people watching this probably don't even, but yeah, I think he earned a massive amount of respect for that and that performance. Which, I mean, it was good representation of the new age showing respect. John Spence says, when I found out I just got out of the movie theater and saw my best friend text me saying simply, the prince has died. When I realized what he meant, I cried all the way on my drive home. Yeah, I get that. Trevor says, I don't think Gene has ever said I love you all. I don't think he's ever said I love you to Shannon especially. That's why he was so impressed when he saw Ozzy saying I love you. Gene was like, I've never heard those words before. What does that mean? Have you read his book, I Am Ozzy? I have not. I'm not really into artists like autobiographies and shit, to be honest with you. We're all lucky to have had Ozzy in our lives, whether we knew him personally or not. We were lucky. Absolutely. I do feel lucky that I got to be a metalhead in a time where I got to see Ozzy and Lemmy and Dio perform. And now it's a crazy thing to say. There's going to be fans who never got that experience. I saw one on Instagram. I thought Randy Bly did a really nice post about it. I wanted to pull up. Pause for dramatic effect. All right, where's the screen? Where am I? What's going on? Randy Bly from Lamb of God posted this picture. Ozzy looking more grandpa there. Like most of you reading this, I'm immensely sad right now. This picture was taken 10 days ago at Comic-Con Midlands. I was with my pals Scott Ian and Frank Bello. Our friend Malfunction took us back into Ozzy's green room. We hung out for a good half hour and had some laughs with the Prince of Darkness. Yeah, Ozzy was just at a con. He did the show and then did this appearance. Know this, Ozzy was in a great mood and still buzzing over the Back to the Beginning concert. I thanked him for having Lamb of God on the show, and I told him we just went by 14 Lodge Road 2 days ago, his childhood home in Birmingham. Ozzy looked up and gave me a huge grin and said, boy, I'll bet that fucking guy who lives there now is sick of hearing about me, and started laughing really hard. It was great to see. I do not claim to have been close to him, but I've had several interactions with Ozzy over the years. Yes, Ozzy was a true rock and roll madman. They don't build him like him anymore. but I also knew him as a kind and gentle man who, alongside his family, did so much for my band and more personally spoke out publicly on my behalf when I was facing serious legal issues. When you are in a foreign prison and inmates you don't know come up to you suddenly acting impressed and saying, Ozzy Osbourne says good things for you in broken English, trust me, it makes a difference. Thank you for that, mate. So yes, very sad right now, but my heart is also full. Ozzy got to say goodbye. He got to do it on his terms with his band. One last time, the mighty Sabbath roared, and we all watched in awe. While in the green room, I had Ozzy sign my shoes, the ones I am holding in this photo. It's these ones, which are kind of fly, actually. There were only 121 pairs of these Adidas made strictly as thank you gifts to performers at the Back to the Beginning show. I told Ozzy I was going to auction them off to further benefit the charities that the concert raised money for, and he was well pleased by this, and so I shall. This is how I would like to thank and honor him for all he did for music, my band, and myself. The shoes will be part of a larger auction that is being organized right now. Details soon. Thank you, Ozzy. We love you. Take a minute to cry. I get it. Yeah, I thought that was a very nice tribute there. Let me find. There's so many tabs open here. Crazy fact, both Lemmy and Ozzy died 17 days after their last show. Was that the case for Lemmy? Because I remember he died, I think, 3 days after his birthday. But yeah. Sad thing was for Motorhead, it was quite obvious Lemmy was not in good health, but there wasn't a bill of final show like it was for Ozzy. My brother-in-law is crushed since he worked for Ozzy for 18 years. God damn. Randy did more than post. He raised more money for charity. Yeah. Randy's a good dude. There's no one left now. Not true. We have to protect Rob Halford at all costs. Protect Rob Halford and King Diamond. Put like security around them. There was more tributes. I saw this. Fans in Birmingham were laying flowers down at the Black Sabbath bench. Jesus. So many people were just there for the show. Like drinking, taking fun pictures. And the bald guys blocking the whole view.
Mine. Is that good? Wonderful. Count to 1 to 10, or can you hear fine?
A pilgrimage to show respect to basically one of the 4 founding fathers. Everything that's inspired my life. Yeah.
Amazing. I heard you both talking about how you found out. Can you explain to us the experience of finding out that he died?
So initially, I mean, we both thought it was a joke, didn't we?
Yeah, I had some friends text me on WhatsApp, and I went, no. Yeah. So I had to Google it, and I was like, oh, wow, oh my God. And I had to sit down, and I was like, this can't be real. And I'm like, so
I had about 3, I was still busy doing something else at the time. I had 3 texts off of people I know. I read the first message saying Ozzy died, and I was looking at it thinking, you're joking, it can't be right.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta be pulling my leg, and then I read the other 3 texts, I'm thinking, nah, it can't be right. Then I'm looking it up on the news, online, about 5 articles saying the same thing, so I thought, yeah, it's gotta be it. Told my parents.
Yeah, I think.
Wonderful.
Phil Newmel, we like you.
To sum up how you think he should be remembered, what would you say?
He should be remembered as the godfather of heavy metal, the founder, the aura, people, whoever is performing, all of the new upcoming artists, metal performers, channel this guy. This guy's the definition of fun. So yeah, he should be remembered as the greatest frontman in metal.
Amazing.
Doing the bench with the flowers.
Amazing. Thank you so much for
you.
chatting to us. It was
Thank
really
you.
kind of you. Oh,
Nice.
could you possibly pop your name and
The fucking greedy reporters are like, we need to cash in on this as fast as we can. Let's get to some people who actually knew Ozzy. Whole night was nonstop Ozzy Sabbath between sets. That's probably going to be every metal and rock show today. The rest of this week is going to be just Ozzy constantly, as it should be. That's how it should have was when Motorhead, when Lemmy passed away. Same for all of them. I wonder if they'll make an Ozzy statue in his hometown like they did Lemmy. They've got to. I thought the same thing. Yeah, they absolutely have to. If they did for Lemmy, they definitely have to for Ozzy. Let's do... Oh. Man, I wanted to come on here and make fun of stupid people. My next video that was about to be done, I was close to finishing, was the sequel to Worst Bandmates. Since people really liked that video and left a lot of comments on people I forgot to put on there, I figured, fuck it, I'll shove out a sequel like a Marvel. And as I was finishing that video, this news broke. So it got delayed by a day or two, but my next video will be funny at other people's expense. But no more tears. Let's do... I'm going to grift off Rock Feed.
Ever be prepared for one of the all-time greats, the icon. Ozzy Osbourne has died at the age of 76. Tributes are pouring in from around the world, from rock royalty, including from his bandmates in Black Sabbath. So many statements to get to. Let's take a look at the tributes as they're pouring in on this historic day in music, mourning the loss of Ozzy Osbourne, just weeks after his final performance. First, we have Rob Zombie sharing, "Goodbye, Ozzy. Thanks for everything. It was always a blast being around you. You will be missed."
Where's Rob Zombie been? I thought it was weird he wasn't at the last show. And then just an Instagram post about Ozzy passing. I thought they were like pretty tight. Because I remember when I was getting into metal, like I was saying before, the pinnacle at the time was Ozfest. And it was like Ozzy, Manson, and Rob Zombie were like the three evil motherfuckers of rock and metal. I don't know.
Thanks for everything. It was always a blast being around you. You will be missed. From Rick Beato, he wrote, "Today we say goodbye to the godfather of metal. Fly high, Ozzy." Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day wrote, "No words. We love you, Ozzy." Brian Headwelch from Korn shared, "Lord, thank you for all the experiences we had with Ozzy Osbourne and for the absolute..."
Someone left this comment, "We're in the end game now. R.I.P. Iron Man." If you think about it, was Ozzy's ending not so, or wasn't Ozzy's ending so similar to Iron Man and Endgame? One big last blowout with all of the originals who were there from the beginning. And then after he got that final triumphant moment, Ozzy could finally rest at the end. I absolutely thought that. Because that's how my brain works. Yeah. You could edit that ending scene of Iron Man's death and put Ozzy in it now and be just as impactful. Rob Zombie is busy making Halloween fan fiction. Hey, nobody hates that movie more than Rob Zombie. If you watch interviews with him about the production of it, it was a fucking nightmare. To be fair. Where'd the video go? Huh?
Kindness he and Sharon Osbourne displayed to Korn over the years, especially the first few months after our debut album came out. Let waves and waves of your love, mercy, and forgiveness wash over Ozzy as he reconciled with his brother, Randy Rhoads, forever. From John 5, he shared, "Thank you, rest in peace, we love you." Gary Holt wrote, "Rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah. Thank you for the years of life-changing music and for letting me be a part of Back to the Beginning. Legend. It was an honor to play your song." John Moyer from Disturbed wrote, "It's a sad day in metal today. Rest in peace to the Prince of Darkness. There will never be another Ozzy.
You know, it's such a major impact when everyone across entertainment have anything to do with not only metal, but everyone is showing outpours for Ozzy.
Statement from Pantera just shared a short time ago reads, "Rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne. Thank you for all that you did for metal and Pantera. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. Sharon, Jack, Kelly, Amy, and Lewis, we are so very sorry for your loss." From Jamie Josta of Hadebreed, he shared, "I can't believe
Jamie's was one of the first posts I saw where I was like, oh shit, this is actually real.
we've got to live in a world without Ozzy now. I love you, Ozzy. Rest in peace. One of the greatest and most influential ever. Truly a one-of-a-kind voice. My deepest condolences to Sharon, Kelly, Jack, Amy, Lewis, Zach Wilde, Sid, Blasco, and everyone who ever had the pleasure of knowing, loving, jamming with, touring with, or just admiring the man, the myth, the legend. What a life and impact." And we have a statement from Youngblood just in, who was very close with Ozzy and his family.
Wells Fargo says they can't stand mainstream metal journalism. I'm sorry. Well, you're correct not to, because mainstream metal journalism is trash. But even mainstream journalism can have the correct sources if it's something like this, an emotional outpouring for someone. Like, you know, I don't watch CNN regularly, but when it's a CNN compilation of artists paying tribute to Ozzy, I can watch that and not be like, okay, I'm being brainwashed. You know what I mean? And that's how I view this same type of thing. But mainstream metal journalism is garbage.
And recently went viral with that standout
I like Rockfeed, though.
performance at the Back to the Beginning show. He wrote, "I didn't think you would leave so soon. The last time we met, you were so full of life, and your laugh filled up the room. But as it is written with legends, they seem to know the things that we don't. I will never forget you. You will be in every single note I sing, with me every single time I walk on stage. Your cross around my neck is the most precious thing I own. You asked me once if there was anything you could do for me, and as I said then, and as I will say now for all of us, the music was enough. You took us on your adventure, an adventure that started it all. I'm truly heartbroken. You were the greatest of all time." Indeed, he was. A statement in from Bill.
All right, fine. I give Youngblood respect for his tributes to Ozzy.
Idol reads, "Very sad to hear of Ozzy Osbourne's sudden passing. I'm so glad that I could be a part of his solo induction into the Rock Hall last October, and that I got to honor his achievements in the light of his passing. Here I am pictured with Ozzy and Steve Stevens on that night last October. I saw Black Sabbath 1 month before the album came out at Worthing Town Hall in 1968. I was right."
It's such a long comment. I wanted to get to this really quick. Yeah, CNN's interview with Rollins was a little cringe. It's just annoying when people who don't know jack shit try to cover this world. I watched that one too, because I loved Henry Rollins growing up. When I saw him show up now, I was like, holy shit, he said something. And yeah, the interviewer did not know what the fuck they were talking about. It's annoying. It wouldn't even be hard to fucking AI tell me about Ozzy's career in Black Sabbath. But you know they're all full of shit because they'd go, oh, he was a reality TV star.
At the front, and his tassels were touching me. Ozzy embodied the spirit of rock and roll, and he performed right to the end, as we saw most recently at the Back to the Beginning concert. My condolences to Sharon, Jack, Kelly, and the whole family. My heart goes out to you." Poison vocalist Bret Michaels released this statement, writing, "As I raise the rock horns towards the heaven, tonight's show with Def Leppard in Saratoga Springs."
Wait. Who the fuck knew Poison was on tour? It's 2025. We lose Ozzy and Poison is touring. I don't want to be in this timeline anymore, dude. This sucks. We need the Stones. We got to go back. We need a DeLorean.
As well as all the shows this week will be dedicated in loving memory of Ozzy Osbourne and the loss of one of the greatest rock legends to ever live. And to my friend Sharon Osbourne and the entire Osbourne family, sending my deepest condolences. Ozzy, may you forever rest in peace, and thank you for rocking our world." And from former Van Halen vocalist Sammy Hagar, he wrote in a statement, "Ozzy Osbourne was and will always be a one-of-a-kind true rock legend. For him to have been that close to death on July 5th and still get up there and perform like he promised.
Yeah.
Wow, that puts him in a category of his own. Talk about commitment and loyalty to your fans. Nobody's going to outdo that ever. Rest in peace to my brother. He did it all."
No, that's absolutely true. So many other artists wouldn't do something like that, where they're in physical pain, unable to stand, but they had to perform one more time because they had to in their soul, not because like their record company forced them out on stage as a prop. Yeah, Ozzy could not have gone out in a better way, really.
Sammy Hagar. Gavin Rossdale from Bush put out the following statement. He shared, "Rest in peace, Ozzy. A great man, a true legend. I met Ozzy through Jack just a few times, but he was so warm and kind and funny, and I love that memory. Sending much love to his family at this difficult time. Rest in power." And from Dream Theater drummer Mike Portnoy, he shared, "Like every single one of us on the planet right now, I'm in complete shock over the news of Ozzy Osbourne's passing. We all knew this day would eventually come, but it seemed like he was still going to defy everything and live forever. There's a small comfort in knowing he was able to play his final concert only a few short weeks ago and feel all the love and gratitude that this whole world has for him. How poetic that he was able to give and have his final farewell surrounded by all his loved ones, family, and friends. Thank God for that, and thank God for Ozzy. You impacted and enriched all of our lives. Thank you." And from Rob.
Yeah, I think it's a major comfort knowing that he got that show. How awful would it have been if he had passed away before the show happened? That would have been heartbreaking.
God for Ozzy. You impacted and enriched all of our lives. Thank you. And from Rob Flynn of Machine Head, he wrote, "Absolutely gutted to hear about the passing of Ozzy. Both Black Sabbath and Ozzy Osbourne's band are more of an influence on my singing, lyrics, songwriting, guitar playing than words can ever speak. I love you, Ozzy. Rest in power to the greatest to ever do it." And from Rage Against the Machine guitarist Tom Morello, who recently served as the music director at that final
How crazy
show.
has that got to be for the people who were just there? If anyone's watching the stream right now, how many that was at the show? How insane does it got to be? Man, I guarantee you that Taylor Swift would never do that. Oh, 100%. I feel like the Rolling Stones might, but that might be a little more out of desperation. But no fucking pop star would ever do that. Do we know if he was at home when he passed, or did Sharon take him to Switzerland? I'm seeing stories and don't know what to believe. Yeah, there's rumors, I guess, that he was talking about euthanasia after the show. I don't remember seeing those going around. I do have to wonder with the timing. Maybe he went like a Hunter S. Thompson route of deciding that I will go out on my terms. No idea. Have not seen anything to hint at that. That's not what the family said, at least yet. But just with the timing makes you think it's certainly a possibility. But I don't know. Like I was saying before, I don't know about wanting to speculate on that too much. If that's what happened, I feel like that information would come out eventually. Where are we at right now? Which one was I going to pull up? There was other video. Oh, here we go. Apologize as I'm trying to figure out the computer. Just because I'm a YouTuber does not mean I understand technology. This was celebrities react to Ozzy's death. Elton John, Megadeth, Pantera, Brian May. How do you think Zach's doing, man? Especially having to play? How does Zach Wilde perform with Pantera just hearing that news? That's crazy.
Today, the world of music is mourning the godfather of heavy metal, Ozzy Osbourne, also famously known as the Prince of Darkness.
From the band and from myself,
love Alice.
Let's all say goodnight to Ozzy. Ozzy, 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 Ozzy.
tributes have been pouring in from some of the greatest names in the industry, honoring the legacy of the iconic star. Many artists have taken...
It is the thing, like, there's rock stars who passed away, there's celebrities, artists that passed away. There's few who had such an impact that Ozzy did, where you can say his band directly caused this whole other genre of music that we all love. Not like he was just really good at it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it feels like an element has been taken out of the earth all of a sudden. We're like, what? What do you mean?
To social media with emotional tributes, while others, like Lady Gaga, have honored him through live performances. While closing her
Lady Gaga is wearing a Ozzy shirt.
Mayhem Ball show in San Francisco last night, Gaga performed Ozzy.
Yes, I mean, we lose Ozzy, but we still have Gaga. Come on. The scales are off balance.
He's Crazy Train, while wearing a t-shirt with his name on it. Metal legends Pantera also paid tribute by performing Black Sabbath's Planet Caravan.
Stop giving me copyright.
During the performance, the crowd spontaneously erupted into chants of Ozzy's name, filling the venue with emotion. On stage with them was Ozzy's longtime solo guitarist, Zakk Wylde, who also shared his heartfelt tribute on Instagram. Thank you for blessing the world with your kindness and greatness, Oz. You brought light into so many lives. You lived with the heart of a lion. I love you, Oz, beyond forever. The legendary rock band Queen also...
What a weird time to be at a Pantera show. All these big, burly, strong men crying their eyes out. Understandably so. Yeah, what a weird time.
Paid their respects, stating, Queen is deeply saddened by the passing of the legendary artist Ozzy Osbourne, sending thoughts to his family, friends, and his fans. His music will live on. Other major bands, including Metallica, Foo Fighters, UB40, and Duran Duran, have also joined the global outpouring of grief. Metallica shared a powerful message.
Yeah.
It's impossible to put into words what Ozzy...
Flavor Flav. Yeah, even he did a post, man. I love Flavor Flav. I don't care what he says. He's fucking awesome. He's a real musician. That's why he did a tribute to Ozzy.
Osbourne has meant to Metallica.
That's not Metallica, by the way. I don't know if the people who made this know that.
Hero, icon, pioneer, inspiration, mentor,
Why did they randomly show Flavor Flav when they were talking about Metallica?
All friend are a few that come to mind. Ozzy and Sharon believed in us and transformed...
I bet they forget Ozzy at the Grammys.
...our lives and careers. He taught us how to play in the big leagues, while at the same time being warm, welcoming, engaging, and all around brilliant. We are heartbroken and devastated by this loss, and send our love and condolences to Sharon and their family, bandmates, and his very large circle of friends. Youngblood, who recently joined Ozzy on stage during his farewell concert, also shared a deeply emotional tribute.
Did you hear that AI voice? Youngblood.
I didn't think you would leave so soon. The last time we met, you were so full of life and your laugh filled up the room. But as it is written with legends, they seem to know the things that we don't. I will never forget you. You will be in every single note I sing, and with me every single time I walk on stage. Your cross around my neck is the most precious thing I own. You asked me once if there was anything you could do for me, and as I said then, and as I will say now for all of us, the music was enough. You took us on your adventure, an adventure that started it all. I am truly heartbroken. You were the greatest of all time. Scott Ian, the guitarist of thrash metal band Anthrax, recalled recent moments with Ozzy. We were with him in Birmingham just over a week ago, talking about how incredible Back to the Beginning was. Ozzy was in a great mood, laughing and cracking us up. This heartbreaking shared experience is palpable, like a disturbance in the force. Tonight we're going to get together with friends and share stories.
YouTube is cracking down on AI channels a lot pretty soon, actually. I think they're at least largely getting demonetized, so they might still be there, but you can't like make a fully generated AI channels anymore like this. But like I said, this is a compilation of people's posts about Ozzy.
So Elton John also paid tribute through Instagram. So sad to hear the news of Ozzy Osbourne passing away. He was a dear friend and a huge trailblazer who secured his place in the pantheon of rock gods, a true legend. He was also one of the funniest people I've ever met. I will miss him dearly. Heavy metal pioneers Judas Priest also posted a powerful tribute. Our hearts are broken like millions around the world. Words can't express the love and loss we are all feeling. Sharon, may God surround you and your beautiful family with love, peace, and light. Ozzy, you will never leave us. Your music is eternal. God blesses you now more than ever, after you blessed us all through your magnificent life. And Dave Mustaine,
protect Rob Halford. Put him in a Bubble Boy outfit. Make sure nothing happens.
Frontman of Megadeth, echoed the same sentiment.
Did you hear Megadeth wasn't even invited to the Back to the Beginning show?
Our hearts are broken like millions around the world. Words can't express the love and loss we are all feeling. Sharon, may God surround you and your beautiful family with love, peace, and light.
Man. What a day. What a week. Everyone in the world is pouring out sympathies for Ozzy, including people who clearly have no idea what the fuck they're talking about, like all of those news people we were showing, and especially a politician. Never trust a politician, folks. If you guys didn't see, Andrew Yang is is he like Democrat, Libertarian? I honestly don't know exactly. One of them. He made it, his original post was "Rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne, a true American original." And then when everyone called him a fucking retard, he changed it to "Rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne, a true original and pioneer." Adam Carolla says, "This is more disqualifying than being president than anything Trump, Obama, Bush, or Clinton did." I agree. Arrest this man immediately. Throw him in a gulag. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. It is gross, you know? You could just not fucking say anything if you don't know what you're talking about, and that would be fine too. Boo this man. Yep, exactly. Yep. The great American rock star Ozzy Osbourne with his very thick American accent. Yeehaw, I'm Ozzy Osbourne from Black Sabbath. Get my Osbourne's name out your fucking mouth. That's right. That's right. Speaking of politicians, let's do... That's probably actually in a compilation clip. There was that time when Ozzy went to the White House when Bush was president, and that was weird as shit. No one attacked Ozzy for that. I was thinking that Ozzy did a lot of things that are part of his legend that everyone thinks is so funny, that I feel like if they were done now in the age of social media would get him hated and canceled and everything, you know, it'd be viewed much differently. But when you have the like legends of the stories and not Snapchat videos. Where to go? Fuck, what was I pulling up? I forgot where I was. Just like Ozzy. Let's do... Oh, my bad. This one. It's because Bush called him Osbourne. He did say that. That's right. That's what I was pulling up. For the new kids watching who are unaware, George Bush is a war criminal and former president of the United States. Ozzy Bush. That could lead to so many disturbing results. Yeah, this one. How much can I? That. I'm going to show you guys something horrifying for a moment, but we already survived it, so it's going to be okay. This is Satan, and he's going to give a shout out to Ozzy from the White House.
What a fantastic audience we had tonight. Washington.
This was when people thought he was still somewhat sort of cool before his retardation spilled out.
Power brokers, celebrities, Hollywood stars, Ozzy Osbourne.
This video doesn't cut to fuck off. The actual video cuts to Ozzy. He like jumps up on the table.
Hey, Minnie. It'd be fun.
Audience we had tonight.
Oh, there's a whole like Ozzy segment.
Hey,
I didn't know
Minnie.
that. Oh, let's watch this. We can see from Ozzy's perspective. Oh, it's right here.
Come here. Hello.
All the dignified Epstein clients walking out of the White House, and Ozzy is. Ah! He looks like me at family gatherings, so out of place. Everyone makes fun of Sharon, but if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have as much Ozzy as we do now. This is true. Like, as much of a cunt as Sharon is and can be, Ozzy would have died a long time ago if it wasn't for her. In a much less dignified way. So, that is true. And she's the reason for the final concert. But she did egg Iron Maiden, and that's hard to look past. I didn't see this yet. Jake E. Lee shares final text he received from Ozzy 2 weeks ago. Jake, legendary guitarist for Ozzy from back in the day, just survived several gunshot wounds, played the final show. I didn't see this yet. Ozzy's text to Jake reads as follows. Hi, Jake. I'm so sorry I couldn't spend more time with you on the weekend, but it was really chaotic. I would really like to see you when I eventually get back to LA just to shoot the shit. It's been so long since we saw each other. Where are you living these days? Because the last thing I heard was you were living in Las Vegas. How did the gig go for you on Saturday? I really hope you had fun. Anyway, I will text you when I eventually get back to LA, and we must hook up. Much love and respect, Ozzy. Damn. That sucks. That's crazy. That was a big deal for people to see Jake at the concert. Yeah, that's fucking heavy. What do you say about that? Definitely save that text forever. The floodgates it did. Yeah, everyone. Strong men also cry. Sharon did Jake E. Lee dirty before. I was surprised he was at the show. That's what I heard. So that's why it was a big moment for people to see him there. Not only that, but people were chanting Jake's name to come on stage. That was really cool. All right, that's just depressing. I don't think Ozzy ever left England. No, he didn't. Which, I mean, better to have a final resting place be there rather than the shithole of LA. Samir, hey Wyatt, I gotta go sooner. Have a great day and rest in peace, Ozzy. You won't be forgotten. Take care, man. Have a good day. Try not to cry too hard. I understand though. You know, like I said in my video, all metalheads are allowed to take the rest of the week off of work. The savior of metal says so. Let's do some more. Let's do that one. We got pause for dramatic effect. Times Ozzy Osbourne was the nicest guy on earth from Loudwire. Prepare to have your eyes leak very hard.
I just want to tell you, because I may never see you again, that you are my favorite musician in the world.
Give me a hug.
All right, we can all go cry now.
Hi. Here we go. Stop trying to kill your sister. Hi. I'm Ozzy Osbourne. It's good to be back here again. Last year we had a rather bad accident when we did this. I hope one of them doesn't puke over me again this year.
I don't know what the fuck he just said.
Going, folks. Oh my God. Why? Why can't you be like the husband?
Everybody just seems kind of worried and uptight and on edge. I thought, I got to do something. I want to cheer up my staff. I want to make my staff happy. I want to lift their spirits. We have a special guest today who's going to try and lift everybody's spirits. Let's have a nice hand for Ozzy Osbourne.
How you doing?
Best day at work ever.
Anyone has a problem or wants to talk or needs help in any way, Ozzy's here. Isn't that right, Ozzy?
That's right. That's right. I'm here for it. I didn't make it so you get sick. It's not my fault.
And Tracy does a really good job.
This is what Ozzy looked like when I was like coming up into metal. So this was kind of my image of Ozzy at his prime. I know it's different for everyone else. But yeah, when I think of Ozzy, this is basically the image that I always had.
Oh God, no! You're not letting him in. Oh bloody hell! Hello, darling. How you doing? All right, lovely. Yeah. Great. It's great to meet you, man. It's been a lifetime ambition of mine.
That's cool as fuck.
You guys made me start music, you know.
That was the first time Ozzy and Paul McCartney ever met each other. Maybe the only time.
Yeah. After the burglary. Yeah, after the burglary. I love that story, man, with the gloves with no fingers. Yeah, that's typical me, that is. Hey, I'll see you later, Paul. Yeah, all right, man. Come on, let's have a quick peggy. Come on. Yeah, come on. Yeah. Doing press right now, in stores and all that. Hey, listen, you ever see that early stuff of the Beatles? Which one? The Maisels. I've got absolutely everything. Okay. Meet Albert Maisels. Oh, really? Man! That's Al.
Ozzy was always so like humble, no matter how big he got. Him and Lemmy were always legit fans of the music. They never made any stupid statements like rock is dead.
Bloody
Ozzy, what are you doing here?
Happy birthday, son!
Ozzy, what are you doing here?
She forgot the bloody cake.
It's the audience.
I've been running up the road with the bloody putting the candle down up all the way here.
Ozzy, what do you do when you are home? Do you try to be like the time that you do spend at home? Do you really try to participate? Do you go to PTA meetings? Do you meet the teachers? Do you?
The thing is, it's very difficult being like a telephone father because you miss them so much. And when I come back from being on tour or being away for such a long time, I tend to be like Santa Claus. I bring them gifts because of the fact that I haven't been there on a daily basis to be their father. You know, I mean, I adore my kids, and so it's like I get like a shopping list over the phone. I want a tank. I want to look like a desert rat, or I want a doll, or you know.
This is cool as shit. Yuto here was this amazing guitar prodigy. He was just a little, I don't know how old he was here, but obviously very, very young. And he became a viral sensation. And then Ozzy brought him up on stage at a show to do Crazy Train. Get copyright, but worth it. That's awesome. I get copyright strike because the fucking child is worth it.
You put your let me put one. You have to take your glasses off. So
You
go 10 times and it's my turn.
You can probably understand each other equally as well, which is not at all.
Very funny.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
Awesome. That was awesome. Absolutely awesome.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you rate the kids?
10 out of 10. Go on.
when did you start playing music?
When I first heard a band called the Beatles, that changed my whole life.
Have you heard that band? Yes, I have. What about the Beatles inspired you to play music?
I remember exactly what I was doing. I was walking down the road with a transistor radio, and the song "She Loves You" came on, and I thought, "What is this?" I just went crazy for them. There'll never be another band like the Beatles.
So do you all have any advice?
Isn't that crazy how the power of music works? There's been like people with bad memory problems can often remember specific moments if they put on a song that brings them back to that. Like Ozzy was saying that Ozzy can't remember shit, but he remembers the first time he heard the Beatles.
You have to have a desire. You know? If you really want to do practice, makes perfect.
I just want to tell you, because I may never see you again, that you are my favorite musician in the world.
Give me a hug. I have the greatest respect for the true fans. We get people who want to see you sign a pile of albums and they'll sell on eBay, but they're not fans. But the real fans, you can't. I mean, to look at you would think they're yobs, or whatever, but they're great people. It's just like they've been there forever for me. And now it's to fathers, sons, and sons' kids, you know.
What would you say to those fans that have stuck with you through the
The fuck voice? Whoa, Jesus Christ!
highs and the lows?
The bottom of the line is, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be sitting in this house now. I wouldn't be talking to you. They're so loyal. I mean, you can imagine in 50 years what's come and gone. You know, it's just remarkable.
Man, I just love how he was so about the fans, and it really meant so much to him. That's so rare these days. Fucking performers take off a show because they have a slight headache or the heater's not on at a show or something, you know? Man. Kelly's son was Sid from Slipknot, and he proposed to her backstage at the Ozzy concert. Yeah, that was cool. That was a good moment. And imagine that from Ozzy's perspective, too. He gets that final show, gets to be on stage, gets to see his daughter get engaged. I didn't mean to make that rhyme, but it somehow did. Sorry. Your opinion, do you think Vakken and 70K will do some special program because we lost Ozzy? Oh, yeah, Vakken 100% will for sure. I don't know what it would be, but they will. 70K would probably do a bunch of like Ozzy covers at that all-star metal jam that they do. Some of my friends have been booking 70K right now, getting excited for that. Man, we needed 30 more years of Ozzy. If you think about it, we kind of got that. Let's be honest. I wanted to do... All right, hold that up. Let's find that. Wait, did I close something I wanted open? I think so. Fuck. Damn it. Why do I suck? Let's find that. God, I can't type at all. One thing about Ozzy is every performance he gave it 100%, all he had each night. Absolutely. 100%. I'm looking for the Ozzy doing Randy's recordings right now. Yeah. I don't think I've even seen this before, actually. But all right. Tears are about to flow. Just a heads up. Ozzy listening to Lost Randy Rhoads solo. That's cool. Randy really was up there with the best. Cindy says, dude, I was only 12 when that came out, so my mom and dad would have killed me if I listened to that. They said he's a devil worshiper. Like, what the fuck, mom and dad? That's so funny to think back to those days when people were, you know, protesters were at Ozzy shows. He was probably more Christian than a lot of them were. Where are we at? Damn it. So take a drink. Take a drink. Let's do... I didn't watch this, but popular metal YouTuber Ollie, Ola England, posted a video about Ozzy. Let's see what he has to say.
Hey guys, Ola here. I'm currently on vacation, but I felt I needed to come into the office. Ozzy Osbourne has passed away. And yeah, this one hits pretty fucking hard. And just as I reflected on the Back to the Beginning show a couple of weeks ago, where we got to celebrate Ozzy and Black Sabbath, it's always been very clear that Ozzy's life is more than him just being a singer. He was basically the godfather of metal. So even though we were prepared with the celebrations of the Back to the Beginning and all that, I think now that it hit, it was just way too hard. There's absolutely no denying how Ozzy shaped, metal, and all the metal that you listen to as well. All the bands that I'm listening to, everyone was inspired by Ozzy and Black Sabbath. I mean, that's the origin of metal right there, man. Every single metal band owes something to Ozzy. And I mean, we got all the metal genres thanks to these guys. I kind of felt I needed to make this video because I was planning to have a FAQ on Sunday. And it would have been really weird if I just had a FAQ and not say something. So I feel like this needed to be said. And it needed to be said in its own video. Rest in peace, Ozzy. Thank you so much for the music. Thank you so much for everything, basically. And I think this is going to be... I don't think it's ever going to get bigger than this, to be honest. Ozzy was the guy.
Yeah, it was ultimate.
You know, he was the guy. So...
it's the top of metal passing away.
If you have any favorite Ozzy songs or moments you want to share, please share them in the comment section and let's...
Yeah, everyone remember to like videos and like this stream if you would, please. Someone left a comment I was looking for. Sorry, I got lost. Someone said, when's Dark Insanity's Ozzy cover? I'd be down. You'd have to think of a cool song to do. It was interesting playing Ozzy's music earlier, going in and out of being reminded how fucking like epic and awesome some of it was and how badass it is. And then other times, you know, getting the bittersweet emotional aspect of it. Let's see. I want to check what new Ozzy stuff has come up, but let's do something fun. I would like to share. Wait, that. Some good fun stories about Ozzy. Here's an old one of Henry Rollins speaking on Ozzy and Black Sabbath. This is from a long time ago, but
when I was 15 and heard the song Iron Man, my life changed. And when I heard that voice, and when I heard these songs of alienation and this crushing guitar power, that was my shit. And I've been into Ozzy Osbourne ever since. I got all the Sabbath records, all the Ozzy records, all the bootlegs, greatest rhythm.
Growing up, I got really into Henry Rollins. Not his music, because musically he was awful. But I used to listen to his spoken words all the time. I got really inspired by what he would talk about, his view of life and music and everything.
Section in rock and roll was Bill Ward and Geezer Butler. If I ever saw those guys, I'd be all over the place. So anyway, imagine my elation. Several weeks ago, slaving away at band practice, and we get a phone call from management, and manager says, hey, you want to play some shows with Ozzy? Let's see. You know, what do you think? So I go, we are there, click. How many nights have I put O-Z-Z-Y on my knuckle with a Sharpie? God, if I had a nickel for every single night. It is the awesome thing to do when you play festivals and you have to do all this press. Like, Henry, so do you like to play the festivals? Yes, I do. And weeks later, boom, we're...
Wait, I get through. Liar got me through some really rough shit when my love life took a nosedive. That's what Henry Rollins was really good for, helping you find. He was like a self-help punk rocker. My mom is almost 72, and she said, I'm so sorry, honey. I know how much you love Ozzy. Okay, here's me tearing up again. Yeah, my 93-year-old grandmother texted me about it, saying how shocked she was. Just sad.
In Florida, awaiting our first gig at the Enormo Dome with the Ozman. And we're sitting in our dressing room, which is a locker. And I'm thinking, God, maybe we'll get to like smell Ozzy. Maybe I'll get like to touch him, or maybe I'll get a glimpse of him as he goes to the stage. You know, no way I'd ever get to meet him, of course. But, you know, maybe I'll just get to, you know, smell his hair care products as he gets golf carted to the stage. Door opens up. Ozzy walks in, no shirt and a cigar.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Ozzy Osbourne. Can I hang out with you guys for a while? I run over to the couch, start pulling everyone's backpacks off the couch. Sit, please.
I said, your grandma's in her 90s and can text? Yeah, it was shocking. She learned how to text probably in her, 70s or something like that. Not only that, this year, my 93-year-old grandmother attended her first death metal show. It was my band, Dark Insanity, playing at the Rainbow. And that was a really fucking cool thing for me to be headbanging, people in front of me headbanging, playing our music, and looking up at the Rainbow and looking up and seeing my grandmother smiling, just being like, ah. And she actually enjoyed it. 91. I stand corrected. My grandmother is 91. I apologize for 2 extra years. But yeah, it was great. She actually enjoyed it. She said it was so cool to get out and do something new, being old and everything. Yeah, that was really cool. She's here correcting you on her age. That is not my grandmother in the chat. That is my mother in the chat. My mother's not 91. She'll be pissed off if you say that.
He sits down. Hey, man, I'm fucking honored you come on tour with us, man. You guys fucking rock out, man. Fucking honored to have you on tour. Fucking God bless you, man. If there's anything you need, man, tell me or my wife and we'll get it for you. Anything you need to be happy, man. We want you to have a fucking great time. We're so happy you're out with us. Was the stage okay? Are the lights okay? Is the PA okay? Anything you want changed, man, we'll do it for you. He's like this totally cool, down-to-earth kind of guy you'd meet in a bar. Doesn't really know where he is. You know, he's just like... rock and roll.
That's really always how he came off, a guy in a bar who happened to be touring around the world.
And he's just super sincere and super cool. He's exactly how I'd hoped he would be. And I'm checking out all his tattoos. I'm like, oh, whoa, there it is. OCCY, awesome. And so we go out that night and we play. And the crowd, which I figure is going to like tear the seats out and like beat us to death with them. And we go out there and we do our, kind of off time thing. And we get
a good way to describe his music. I'm going to be, as a fan, I have to be honest.
Which means rock power. And so we finish. I go, all right, thanks, good night. Ozzy Osbourne's coming up next. And we go off stage. 40 minutes later, changeover. Ozzy hits stage. The roof is flapping. And you realize at that moment that is 12,000 people going like, I think I dropped a joint on the floor. Excuse me, do you know where the men's room is around here? Oh, is there a band playing? Times 12,000 is... So I realized they didn't even know that we played. Ozzy goes out on stage and does basically what he's done for like the last 25 years. It's like... Let's go crazy!
At the Ozzy's final full show, the Ozfest in 2019, I remember specifically there was a moment during some song where Ozzy was running the whole time, but he goes to do a jump and he was old man kind of standing and goes, huh. And the whole audience was like, hey, he did it.
People in the crowd go positively batshit. They're holding up their lighters like with the... At our gigs, when someone holds up a lighter, it means we've been jamming too long. It's like, free bird, pal. You're losing it. See the lighter? But this is like, And the people love this guy. Brings people up on stage, puts his arms around them, they headbang together. It's awesome. And he plays his ass off. And I meet his wife, Sharon, who's also his manager. She's really cool. And she says, Henry, Rip Magazine wants to know if you want to interview Ozzy for the magazine. I'm like, interview Ozzy? Oh, yes.
Someone asked, but have you watched the 9 Lives of Ozzy Osbourne biography that his son made? Yeah, I actually watched it last night. It was very impactful. going through all that then. I appreciate how honest Ozzy is in it. He talks about his downfalls, his fuck up with his first wife and family and issues. He never tries to like sugarcoat the issues that he had, while always remaining humble to the people too. He never used it as an excuse to be a prick.
Tomorrow night, when the gig is done, you're going to come with me and Ozzy and the family. We're going to go to the airport. We're going to fly to this island that we're staying at called Amelia Island off the coast of Florida. You're going to get up in the morning, interview Ozzy, and then we have a limousine that's going to take you to your club date. Like, okay, so what, there's like a red eye that goes to Amelia Island? No. This is our private jet. Let me get this straight. I'm going to fly on a private jet with Ozzy Osbourne. She goes, yes. She can see it coming. Yet,
crazy plane.
You know, male fantasy number 5,000. You know, she goes, oh my God, he's a fanboy. So I'm sitting there like, you know. And so the next night, we do our set. Ozzy just said, after the show, me and Ozzy and Sharon and his kids get in the van and we go to the private airport. And we pull up and there's all these fanboys waiting at the gate holding their Ozzy records. I'm sitting in the passenger seat up front. They don't recognize me. They think I'm his bodyguard.
Good bodyguard, I'm not gonna lie.
They come up to the van. I look at them like, they're like, can we get our stuff signed by Ozzy? Like, hold on, let me ask. Yeah, I'm like just playing it. Ozzy, you want to sign some stuff? Yeah, man, whatever, man. You know, cool. You know, he's really nice. Comes out, you know, he comes out of the van. People are like, whoa. He signs their stuff like, what's your name, man? David. David Big, you know, writing rock on Ozzy Osbourne, all these, you know, on their like 90-year-old vinyl record. Gives it back. You know, these guys always have their silver or
I never got to meet Ozzy.
Or gold ink pens. And he signs up all their stuff, shakes their hands, and I kind of like move towards them. They're all like, I go, that's enough. We have to go get the plane now. And they're like, oh, right, cool. Well, to tell Mr. Osbourne, we're really honored to meet him. Like, he's standing right there. You know, it has to come through me. I'm like, tell him, you know, like, Ozzy, man, you rule. Like, okay. And so, but at the same time, I'm going, God, I wish I had one of my Ozzy records here so he could sign mine too.
Hell yeah. You'd fanboy out the whole time. But, yeah, lots of cool stories of Ozzy. I had a couple other things I wanted to get to here. It says, I didn't either, but he saw me in my band. Ozzy saw your band? Damn, that's insane. Troy says, I'm going to watch that 9 Lives biography. Sounds great. Thanks for sharing that. Cheese. Yeah, on YouTube is the 9 Lives of Ozzy documentary. It's very good. Watched it last night, and the plumbing in my eyes started leaking for some reason. I'm not sure why. I have to get that looked at. One thing that Ozzy would do on his tours, if you ever saw him live, was he would have these funny little spoof videos before going on stage where he'd make fun of like current popular culture and movies and stuff. When I went to Ozfest and saw him, he did like Twilight and whatever was popular then. Let's play a little bit of a highlight reel of that. I think there's a lot of copyright music in here, but let's give it a go, because why not? We need some. Let's stop being sad and celebrate how fun and awesome Ozzy was.
Now, it used to be, I ran to get where I was going. I never thought it would take me anywhere.
Why don't you get the fuck out of here?
Better movie.
The Addams Family. The house is a museum. When people come to see them, they really are a scream. The Addams Family.
Oh God.
Strike the pose.
Oh my God. You're gonna get me in trouble. I don't need copyright from Madonna. That was the thing you just saw with your eyeballs. Jesus Christ.
Why can't you see?
I'd go to that show. That'd be
What
fucking
you
awesome.
doing to me?
I need to not before I get in trouble. If my stream disappears, it's copyright bastards. I mean, shit, Ozzy really was the metal Elvis. That'd be an amazing. I want this to be a real show. All right, I got it. And
this is nothing less than a call.
Oh, look, it's Epstein's friend.
Call to arms to restore the vitality of the American dream. When I was a boy, we had a name for the belief that we should all pull together to build a better, stronger nation. We called it patriotism, and we still do. Good night, and God bless America.
Hey. I want that to be a real show too. I don't need the Beatles getting me in trouble. Their music should be a public domain by now.
Come on, baby. Come on,
Please come out. Please.
Yeah, me too.
Ew.
Hey, butthead. It won't come out.
Maybe you should try using manners.
Oh yeah. Please come out of my butt.
Ozzy was a meme before the full social media.
5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 1, 2.
He's a very mature man. Fucking Christ. So that's how Ozzy used to start all his shows. Someone commented that they should have done that on the stream instead of all the stupid fan stuff. I guess someone was saying at the actual show they did. I think that's what people were saying. If you were there in person, they did show that stuff. Yeah, because I remember seeing a South Park clip from the show that they didn't show on the stream. I wonder if I can find that. The beginning. Try movie cameos, see if that does it. Probably not. I don't know if I can find it. Damn. What video were people asking for? Let's just do Ozzy South Park. It's got to do something. They had to have made fun of him in the past. Everyone, I'm about to show a clip from South Park. This is something called humor. If you're young, you might not understand what that is, but prepare for jokes.
And now here he is, TV's Ozzy Osbourne!
We're all here to help our good friend Chef, who has touched our lives in the past. I remember when I was just starting out, Chef suggested I buy a pompadour hat. I thought he said, bite the head off a bat. So I did, and the rest? Oh, it's just history. Now let's go crazy! Ain't nowhere to run, 'cause I be running this. Ain't nowhere to hide.
Oh my god, Ozzy Osbourne bit Kenny's head off! You bastard!
Nice. We got Chef and his chocolate salty balls. Dude, even my grandma laughed her ass off at that episode. I guess there's some new documentary out about how that Isaac Hayes was fucked over by the Church of Scientology with his exit from the show. I didn't see it yet. That'd be nuts. Oh, the Liquid Death video people are asking for. Yeah, we can do that. It's important when someone passes away to honor them by mourning, but also to celebrate why they were here, what they did in their time, and everything, what made them so special, you know? Ozzy Osbourne warns kids not to snort liquid death. I'd warn them not to buy it.
Wait! No way! Ozzy Osbourne? Death dust? Take it from me. Don't snort that stuff.
We weren't planning on snorting it.
Yeah, we're gonna mix it with water and hydrate.
It's got
I used to snort that shit back in the day. I'm not gonna lie. If you were a kid in school in the 90s, we definitely snorted the stupid sugar bullshit packets.
Lights.
We were retarded.
Body needs.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Whatever you do, don't try freebasing it.
Free what?
And never, ever inject it.
And how would we even...
And don't even think about boofing it. You little pervert.
Oh my God.
You know, well, you stick it up your...
I'd never seen that before. That's pretty good. Man, that never happened to me. When the old random guy drove up on the street and told me not to shove things up my ass, it wasn't Ozzy. Just some random guy. These kids are lucky. That's fucking hilarious. The world feels a little more empty without him. I was playing Changes to my mother who has brain damage, and 5 minutes later I found out he had left this earthly plane. Jesus, what timing. That's rough. Yeah, it is. I love how Ozzy is giving them ideas to intake. Yeah, kids, if you watch that video and like, I don't know what boofing is, let me Google that. Don't. No, bad. Stop it. Ozzy is like the DARE program, telling you about all the drugs you didn't know about, so then you did all the drugs. Ozzy's much better than the DARE program. You'd be like, do you want to get sent to prison for pissing on the Alamo? No. That was a funny story because he was saying that He didn't do it intentionally. He thought he was just in some fucking alley, and it wasn't a big. He wasn't like, I'm gonna go piss on that because it will be funny. You know what I mean? Let me check some metal news sites, see if there's any more things breaking. I have a fun video to go over to wrap it up with, but let me see if there's any more support or anything. Yeah, Machine Head, I guess, opened a show with 2 Black Sabbath covers as their tribute. Let's see. Are they really going to show Back to the Beginning in theaters next year? They said they're going to do that at some point. Yeah, it's probably going to be a limited, like maybe for a day or a weekend or something. But they did say they're going to do that. And they said that before Ozzy passed away. Let's see. Machine Head honors Ozzy. Even Kermit the Frog is mourning the loss of Ozzy Osbourne. I did not see this. I was showing the wrong one. If someone's passing is shaking the world when even fictional characters take a moment to say goodbye. Posted via the Muppets official social media. No one rocked harder than the great Ozzy Osbourne, wrote Kermit the Frog. Every time we bumped into Ozzy over the years, what kind of bumps was Kermit doing with Ozzy? He made us feel just as cool as he was. We loved having a friend like Ozzy Osbourne, and we feel so lucky to have known him, worked with him, and experienced his music for so many decades. For fans, a tribute was more than just a novelty. It was a reminder of Ozzy's widespread cultural impact. Damn, Kermit's better at words than most kids these days. Not only was he the godfather of metal, but he also had a sense of humor and a collaborative spirit that allowed him to cross into mainstream and even family-friendly events. Oh, wait. That's not Kermit saying that. He said the top stuff. Still better words than most kids these days. I thought Kermit said all this. Never mind. This was Metal Injection using AI. Oh, yeah. There it is. Damn, they just turned so many kids onto drug abuse by telling them who Ozzy Osbourne is. There's the Lady Gaga one, but no one cares about her. Where's the news? Pantera did a tribute. Column on him, Bob Daisley pays emotional tribute. Stop it. Damn it, this shit's being difficult. Bob Daisley says nothing can change the true friendship that we once had. Where is it? He said, "This is a sad day and it has brought me to tears. When I reminisce about Ozzy and my times together, I think about the fun, the laughs, and of course what we created together musically, which will live much longer than these mortal bodies that we inhabit. My condolences to everyone who you've left behind, Ozzy. Nothing can change the true friendship that we once had. I'll see you on the other side." Damn. That was nice. Seeing if there's any more. System of a Down did a little tribute. PETA did a tribute. PETA did a tribute to a man who bit the heads off of bats and doves. At least there's that, because they used to be such pricks that they wouldn't even do that. They at least pretend to be nice now. PETA used to be just straight evil. We'll remember the Prince of Darkness most fondly for the gentle side he showed to animals. He did. I mean, they're right, but it's just funny knowing, the stories. I want to put that headline under the picture of him with the bat in his mouth. Oh, I guess he did some animal advocacy too. I didn't know that. Ozzy was a legend and a provocateur, but PETA will remember the Prince of Darkness most fondly for the gentle side he showed to animals, most recently cats, by using his fame to decry painful, crippling, declawing mutilations. I didn't know that. That's good. Ozzy may have been the singer, but his wife Sharon and his daughter Kelly were of one voice when it meant protecting animals. Ozzy will be missed by animal advocates the world over. Words they definitely would have not have said 40 years ago. The Alamo honors Ozzy. Really? Let's see that. That's crazy. The Alamo honors Ozzy's legacy and redemption after historic 1982 incident. As the world continues to mourn the passing of rock icon Ozzy, yada, 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 yada. Where did they actually say? I'm trying to find it. Hang on. You know how these mainstream things work. They have to post all their ads because that's the only way they make money these days because no one reads their bullshit. Except for me. We at the Alamo are saddened to hear of the passing of legendary musician Ozzy Osbourne. His relationship with the Alamo was marked initially by a deeply disrespectful incident in 1982. This act profoundly and rightfully upset many who hold the site sacred. However, redemption and reconciliation eventually became part of his history as well. In 1992, Ozzy personally apologized to the then mayor and expressed genuine remorse for his actions. Decades later, in 2015, he revisited the Alamo grounds to learn and appreciate the site's profound history, openly demonstrating humility and understanding, and holding his urine. At the Alamo, we honor history in all its complexities. Today, we acknowledge Ozzy Osbourne's journey from regret to reconciliation at the historic site, and we extend our condolences to his family, friends, and fans around the world. May he rest in peace. Even buildings are paying tribute to Ozzy Osbourne. Yep, that's, man, crazy, sad. What do you say? Let me see what the comments are saying. Ozzy said when he did it, he didn't know the Alamo or its history. Yeah, I saw in an interview, he said he thought it was, he was just in an alley and had to piss. Didn't think it was a thing. Oh, you have to do the video of Ozzy answering the remote instead of the phone. Yeah, I will pull that up, but I was gonna say that I never actually watched or got into the Ozzy reality show. So like a bunch of these moments people talk about this, I actually don't know about them because I've never watched it. I've seen like maybe some clips here and there, but this right here is a compilation of his iconic moments. So let's have some fun again. Let's laugh along with the joy Ozzy brought us in life. This stream has helped some. I appreciate that. I'm grateful to hear that. You're probably too young. I was just getting into him when it premiered. Yeah, pretty much. Was never big on reality shows in the first place. But
can I get this television to work?
I feel like I can see myself in this clip right now. I feel noticed.
I'm a very simple man.
Documentaries with Ozzy and a cat.
Flies into that.
Oh my god.
Are you fucking out of your mind?
What do you think of the music, Ozzy, tonight?
Crap.
You want me to go and put on something you like?
No, it's not my party. Piece of crap.
That's me at most parties, most normal parties.
It's like music to get your brains kicked into. It's like
I didn't realize I had so much in common with Ozzy as a person until watching this.
a 4-hour-long record, all the same music, you know. That's the best part of the record now.
Okay, go to school.
Imagine Ozzy Osbourne yelling at you to go to school. He and his family had a podcast where families didn't really have to script wild events to happen. But yeah, man. Fuck. One thing I thought would be fun to wrap up with. We have to try to end with some more positive, good, fun moments of Ozzy. I feel like we all know the classic ones on stage that we'll probably be rewatching those. Which movie will you be watching that has an Ozzy cameo in it? I'm going to definitely put on Little Nicky. That was probably my favorite one. I remember laughing so hard when I first saw that. There's plenty of good ones. But so... Oh, sorry, I was reading comments. I found a best of Ozzy moments from their podcast. I believe it's all from their podcast. Yeah. I'm not going to play the whole thing because it's about an hour long, but we can play a good amount of it. What do you say? I feel like wrapping up with some fun later Ozzy stories is a good way to mark his contribution and celebrate him with honor rather than everyone being sad. He wouldn't want everyone to be sad. Maybe a little bit. But he'd want everyone to be loud and go crazy.
He was strangling the cat.
He just wanted a bit of pussy.
It's revolting.
Did you make that up, Mum?
No.
Hold on, let's look this up real quick. A chef at a Hollywood hotspot, Horses, has been granted a restraining order against her husband and restaurant partner after she accused him of physically, emotionally, and financially abuse over the last decade, detailing incidents where he alleged torture and killed up to 14 animals.
Fuck that guy.
Oh my God. This guy is like the fucking Dharma of animals.
This is exactly... I'm questioning the beating off on the cat part. That's the part that I'm like, Mum, I feel like you just put your Sharon Osbourne flair on it.
I'm not.
And made the story.
That he was masturbating on the cat while strangling it.
Hannah, can we confirm that? It is true.
Thank you.
Hannah just
I know what Ozzy's going to say.
found it. It is true.
How can somebody masturbate and strangle a cat?
One hand on the cat, one hand on his willy.
On his willy.
One on the cat, one on the cock.
What if he starts masturbating the neck and strangling his dick?
It's revolting, isn't it?
Well, like
Ozzy wasn't horrified by this evil act he heard. He was like, what if he choked his dick on accident?
Like I said, sometimes, he was just getting some pussy.
How did we get here?
Wait, this
that's
sounds
some
like
real pussy.
This guy sounds like he's in a fucking sex cult. This is a sex cult.
He's in the pussycat.
Yeah.
This is a satanic sex cult act.
It really disturbs me every time you say pussy. Please stop saying it.
Who, me or Dad?
Dad.
But what if he had? What if his favorite Bond villain is Pussy Galore?
Meow.
Wow.
I want to be a fly on the wall for one of their Thanksgiving dinners. Imagine you all have a grandparent or maybe like a crazy uncle or something who is old and a bit out of it. Now imagine they were Ozzy Osbourne with their sense of humor.
Oh, that's a fucking crazy story.
Isn't it?
What a psychopath. Okay.
Better than in the food.
That, you know what? That is a really, really good point.
What's in the food?
Better do it on the cat than in the food.
No.
Well, okay.
Oh, when I
so
saw
if
that...
someone, okay, hypothetical. If someone says to you, here, eat this bowl of pasta with spunk on it, or let this guy strangle a cat, what are you going to do?
Kill him.
I'd eat the.
You're lying.
Oh, I feel like strangle the fucking cat. I'm sorry.
Let's go to a more positive conversation.
Hey everyone, it's Jack Osbourne here.
Ads.
Needed. And the best part,
Fuck off.
Fume is super safe. They invest in third-party
was fucking really had a good thing.
.com and
£100 fucking stripper.
Hey, listen, there's a flavor of ice cream for everyone
I
out there.
agree.
Sorry, let me go.
What do you want for your birthday? I said, get me a stripper. She said, oh, I thought you were going to say, fuck off. And she says, okay. I'm in this club, and suddenly these two ginormous breasts wrap around my face. I'm going, I can smell the fucking armpits, and I'm going, what the fuck is this? And she's got this £300 fucking stripper.
Hey, listen, there's a flavor of ice cream for everyone
I
out there.
agree.
Fuck you know.
But anyway,
We once went to the Christmas party where a woman smoked a cigarette from her old cooch.
What the?
oh, that's true. Do you,
Yeah.
do you remember? It was the
This
Theo
woman-
Finale. It was the Theo
Yes,
Finale
This
Christmas
woman
party.
was not like a trolley.
And smoke came out. Jack.
This woman was
Smoke, like
smoking
smoke
fucking.
rings.
My Christmas family get-togethers are boring as shit, man. It's nothing like this.
It was
Marlboro.
fabulous.
Out
And
of a
Dad,
gearbox.
didn't you call her the smoking?
Yeah.
Okay, so
And that was the night I didn't I get into a little bit of a thing with
Hugh Grant.
Yeah.
you got into a
he's-
fight with Hugh Grant.
Yeah, he said, listen to what he goes to Kelly because she got sat next to him. He goes, well, I'm Hugh. I don't know who you are or what you do. And Kelly goes, well, I know about you. You fuck prostitutes.
Oh my god, were you drunk?
Probably.
What did he say?
He said, shut up and watch this chick.
He's like, shut up, I'm watching this prostitute.
Yeah.
She's my mate. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
All at the
That's
same
awesome.
table. We were like at a round table like this. And he's,
And it's Theo Fennell's Christmas party.
yeah, he always has
Right,
fabulous
I'm going to see if I
parties.
can get in and sell tickets.
Oh,
He
It was the
has
best Christmas
fabulous.
party I have
But
ever been
this
to.
woman was fucking really had a good figure.
And
Nothing-
he coughed through a...
nothing says the birth of
me.
Christ like a smoking vagina.
Mum, how can you cough for your vagina?
But I
I
don't,
just
know,
made
I,
it
I
up.
don't know where she was getting
it's
these fucking
possible. It's possible.
cigarettes from. She was stark fucking naked.
Do you think she pops Ricola in there when she's feeling a little hoarse?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, she fucking bent over. Rings came out of her butthole.
Oh, okay. Why,
do you remember
Why
this-
does it always turn to this? Why?
Do you remember the stripper from the end of Ozfest party?
I think it's
a
probably
cup and saucer.
it's probably illegal for us to share those
She dropped a cup and
stories.
saucer out of her old fanny Annie.
I mean, we got one for my
like
old
this.
assistant.
I don't like this.
I got one for my old
I'm like
assistant.
looking for help from my team. I'm like,
no,
can-
listen to
Listen.
you
And your mom and dad are like, no, listen to the story about this stripper, dude. You have to hear this.
fucking brought up the stripper
I
because
didn't.
you brought the stripper.
I did, Marcel.
I remember getting one for.
When did Kelly get cool and hot? This is weird.
for old Tony when he used to work for me.
Yeah.
And this chick bent over and fucking flies come out.
Shut the
no,
fuck up.
there was two flies whizzing round her ass.
Oh
and, he went and kissed her ass afterwards.
No, I hate this.
No, the flies didn't come out of her ass.
They did.
They smelled. They smelled and came from nowhere. You know when you've
Do
got
you know what her
fruit?
name was? Her name was Buzzy Buzzy.
You know when you've got fruit in a kitchen and suddenly flies appear? That was like she
Her name
bent
was-
over and
her name
flies
was Buzzy
came.
Buzzy.
Buzzy.
I can't do this.
Podcasts are great platforms for comedians and for older rock stars because they can just get on there and just start talking about all their stories in life that you used to have to like read through magazines. You can just hear them unfiltered.
Jeez. This is horrible.
Can we change the subject?
Yeah, well, I tell you what, let's talk about camping.
Talk about camping. God damn.
I believe we're actually fucking talking about this. Have you guys heard of the Hawk Tour girl?
Dad,
Oh, yeah.
Hawk-Tuah.
Oh, I have heard of that.
That is what we call a crash and burn.
What the fuck's that all
Okay,
about?
so her name is Haley Welch. She's dubbed the Hawk-Tuah girl. She became a viral TikTok sensation after a humorous street interview in Nashville where she described a suggestive bedroom move using a Southern accent. Her video quickly garnered millions of views, and she since has launched a line of merchandising related to her viral catchphrase.
Why do you think it's gone so viral?
I think because this generation really don't know about it, but it's
kind
an
of original,
old-time
though, isn't
thing.
it? It's kind of an original.
Spitting on dicks is an old time thing, Mum.
This is making me a fan of Kelly.
No, the hawking is a...
Spitting on dicks is an old time thing.
Gagging on dicks.
Oh my God!
What?
Gagging is an old-time thing on
Were they born into therapy? I feel like they had to have been.
dicks, but her spitting movement...
I'm dying. I'm dying.
What are you
I need
talking
to go
about?
into some
I
sort of
don't
like...
know. I don't want to.
Mom!
Okay.
What are you
Find a happy
talking about?
place.
You
Find a
know when
happy
you
place.
see
He doesn't even know what's going on.
dogs that are
Find
going
a happy
to
place.
gag and they're just about to throw
Hawk,
up.
Dad, Hawk-Tuing is she was implying hawking a loogie and spitting it on someone's dick.
Okay, okay, let me just rewind a little bit.
Does anyone else have these conversations with their 76-year-old father?
I hate this. I hate this.
Okay, so
That's
on
okay.
the video,
I'm so sorry for making that comment. However, it would be better if you didn't do the same fucking dance every day. Change a few movements.
all right, I was going to say, Brittany, never stop dancing. I love your dancing. It makes you happy, and I'm so sorry if any of us offended you. It's totally not what we talked about.
Ozzy spent his last moments playing with his friends, being with his family, making fun of Britney Spears.
Listen, I like Britney
I love
a
Britney.
lot.
I love Britney Spears.
She
But it's the same dance every day.
No, sometimes she has knives.
I'm sorry for saying.
Sometimes she has knives. I
don't want to hurt anyone.
I don't
want to go out the
I
way to
didn't mean
hurt
that
anyone.
to be offensive. I really do apologize. I love you all. I think you're beautiful.
But mix it up.
Okay, next topic.
Use secret code Ozzy at osbornemediahouse.com.
Part 2, drugs.
What about you, Dad? What are your hobbies?
Drugs? No.
Everyone knows, Dad.
Everybody already knows.
Snorting ants. For 6 years, my nose has been dripping. And my
You gotta,
Dripping.
gotta stop doing so much blow.
Dripping.
I'm a 75-year-old junkie. What do you expect?
You just got that Coke drip.
Could you imagine if people
Doing
actually
di-
start
You're just doing.
next article?
what
They're
do you
going to
expect?
believe what you're saying, Jack.
What? How hilarious will
Yes,
that be?
yeah, it's going to be
That's
in
not
the
very
National,
hilarious.
National Enquirer.
Like Dad is gonna be offended by someone being like, Ozzy Osbourne does cocaine. He fucking
never done
snorted
coke.
a line of ants. What else hasn't he snorted?
Mum's bum.
I'm ignoring everything.
To that point, did you actually snort ants?
They say, yeah.
Did he actually snort ants, Mum?
I was not there, thank God.
Okay.
I used to try and stay away from Motley when they were with Ozzy. And
Smart.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. All I know is that I think it made their movie. And I want to know why. Now we're on the subject of why, when they advertise their movie on Netflix, it's a picture of a guy imitating Ozzy. Why isn't the ad campaign a picture of Motley Crue?
That's true. I didn't even think about that. How interesting.
Why is it
When she's right, she's right.
a picture of your father?
Well, I know the answer to that.
What is it?
Because Ozzy Osbourne's bigger than Motley Crue.
No.
Yeah, no. The thing is, I just think it's an invasion.
Stop.
All right. Anyway, so
Yes.
did Dad snort the line of ants?
Yes.
I say no.
He's like, yeah.
Yes, I did. I was there. I did it.
Well,
my nostril.
Okay. Did you feel them crawling around in your sinuses, or did you get like
You probably didn't feel anything at that point.
an ant drip?
Oh, ew. An ant drip. Oh.
I was drunk and I did it.
Okay. Well, this segues perfectly into the subject matter of this podcast.
How? And
Hobbies.
Oh, hobbies.
Yeah, okay.
Shut up, Jack.
Heroin, crack.
Oh, you wish.
How did it go? No.
Yeah, right? Dad's drug history is cocaine and prescription pills.
Yeah.
And dope. And
Dad, we have to clarify. Dope, Dad means weed.
Yeah. Dope
Well,
now.
what does dope mean?
Heroin now.
Oh, ugly.
Yeah, that gets confusing.
That's the new term for,
Oh, that's it, is it, Jack?
I want to try heroin. Made me very sick.
It does that.
It's probably a good thing.
You go to many, many AA people and they say tough love, and also therapists go tough love.
I can remember going to Biloxi, Mississippi, where
there is no drugs.
Oh yeah, there's fucking.
Oh, there is.
Oh yeah.
Okay, all right.
Oh yeah.
I drove through the night. I was drinking heavily, and there was 24-hour bars. And we had 3 days off.
Oh God, that's a
And
terrible
I got
idea.
off the bus, straight into the bar, which is next to the hotel. And there I was for 3 days doing
They have 24-hour
Oh, yeah,
bars. Oh, my
24
God, what a terrible idea.
And then on the fourth day, I had a gig and I was fucking. I remember going on stage and I was so fucking hungover. I felt like death.
Yeah, it's a completely different thing with touring when you're.
If you guys can see here, it shows this is Touring Tales, Substance Use, Concert Chaos and Riots, Ozfest Music Industry Insights. I'm going to go through these parts, maybe skip around here and there, but do most of these, and then probably wrap up the podcast there. We still got a couple more minutes, unless there's another thing tribute where we should obviously end the podcast with that, but just letting you guys know, we'll go for another where are we? At the most 20-30 minutes, but yeah. This is the encore portion of the podcast.
When you're using.
Oh, but yeah, I never did it on very rare when on stage loaded.
Did you do the thing? So I'm not going to name the names, but I've got a couple of people in my life who say, I never drink before the show.
No.
Right?
But you're so pickled.
Exactly.
You're disrespectful to go on stage loaded.
And you never did that?
Very rarely. There was occasions when I did, but no. But you're not in control. It's the only one thing. I mean, the thing about being on the road, you got a lot of time to kill.
Yeah.
Especially if you got a day on and day off.
Well, that's the worst, because the day off, you do whatever you're going to do, and then the hangover is on the gig day.
It's this time you got to kill.
Did you ever do a show on acid?
Yes.
Did you?
Oh, that sounds like a fucking nightmare.
Really? I don't think I've ever done that. I was all heroin and coke. Is it weird?
It's not fun.
I bet, man. That sounds terrible.
You don't know what you're doing.
But oh God, I wish I could watch a video of the show where I know you're on acid, because you must have still sung. You still were at the mic.
You think I might not have sang. I remember once in the early years.
What did you just say?
I was loud when we used to do Hamburg. You have the mic on the chin and you singing.
You're singing. That's brilliant. Listen, so when I was really young,
Tony Iommi, when we were doing Hamburg, he used to play a flute. He's got the flute on his chin and he's going...
wondering why it don't sound.
He's just shaking the fucking flute.
I was thinking about that watching the Back to the Beginning performance, how he had to be in the chair with the spray stuff for his mouth, and thinking how back in the day he was running behind the drum set to do lines of coke and coming back all crazy. But like I said earlier, I'm glad that the final performance was because he wanted to do it, not because he was like shoveled out there to get another paycheck.
I can remember we did a Japanese tour. Well, the flight from Tokyo to LA had been delayed, and so we had to wait. We got there like early in the morning, and we had to fucking wait till 6 o'clock that evening. I'm going, oh fuck! I was trying to. When I was early sobriety.
Yeah.
And it was Tokyo Airport was fucking million with thousands of fucking Japanese
It's
people.
huge, isn't it?
And
Tokyo.
it was and I said to my old assistant, fuck this. And the airline gave us all tickets. We could get free drinks in the bar. And all the crew, everybody went, I said, fuck this. I spent from 9 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock in the evening.
Oh, that's not
in
good.
the first class lounge. 6 o'clock comes, and I get on this plane. This plane had come from fucking some other country, and I'll get on this plane, and this woman, all the band went upstairs on the 747, apart from me and Tony. I mean, in this place down in the first class lounge, and there's this fucking drunken woman. And she was fucking legless. She clocks me. And she comes up, she's walking around. She comes to me and she goes, which one are you, a Motley Crue?
Oh, God, no, really?
No. So then my assistant goes, well, I said, Tony, just tell her to fuck off. So he goes, no, you can't do it. I said, Tony, just tell her to fuck off. So in the end, I ended up telling her to fuck off. She goes nuts at me. The stewardess comes to me and says, yeah, you can't use that kind of language. I said, fucking don't tell her to sit down. She said, why don't you have a drink? I said, if I have a drink with her, we won't get anywhere.
Yeah.
And I said to Tony, how's she looking? She goes,
asleep.
He goes, oh, she's having a dinner now. He goes, she's leaning to the one side. He looks back and he goes, as you look at her now, he says, oh, she's face down in a dinner. The next morning when we landed, it was landed at Honolulu, pick up more people. She comes up to me. She's got peas, carrots, gravy. I said, man, I know what you're going to say. Just go on your way. Sorry.
At least you said sorry.
Part 3, rock and roll.
No other touring heavy metal festival broke bands like Ozfest did.
No, they didn't.
You know, Tattoo the World or Not Fest. I know they're family, but like, where was the Slipknot to come from Slipknot's festival?
Did they have one?
Yeah,
they have one.
Yeah,
they have one.
Yeah,
Slipfest.
Yeah, I think we'll have to end with that breakfast skit. That'll be a good way to go out.
Not Fest.
No.
It was Tattoo the World, and then it turned into Not Fest. But like, think about it.
Did it do good?
Yeah, it still does.
There's a heavy metal band that Sid works with called Swollen Teeth, and they're doing really, really well. And I
think that's a great title for a band.
What?
Swollen Teeth.
And they're doing their second record right now. So
yeah, but I
mean, there's some, but it's not to what you're saying. No,
yeah, there's no Limp Bizkit, there's no Disturbed, there's no
Slipknot, there's no
System, there's no Incubus. All those bands, we can't take credit for the fact that they're phenomenal musicians and amazing songwriters and amazing performers, but they all had huge success after Ozfest.
But that was the whole thing of it. And it was like we were a family going out on the road, listening to bands that you guys liked. You always used to come in with your list. And it was like, it was a touring family
really, Jack, if it was
event.
If it was Mum and I, we wouldn't have had a fucking clue what
I think you guys would have. You guys have had
2004 with Priest and Slayer. That's crazy. I would have loved to have seen that. Fucking up in comments here. Ellie, not so smelly. What's up? I hope you're doing all right. I know we're all in mourning right now.
Always had an ability to pick amazing bands. The amount of bands that opened for you that went on to have huge success is insane.
Yeah.
Think about it. Metallica, not saying Motley Crue. I mean, the other bands we just listed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so many bands open for you and go on to have huge success.
Yeah. But that's
He's just like, yep. Cool ass Ozzy. Man, all right, let's find that clip. Ozzy breakfast. I think we'll wrap up with that because, not gonna lie, I have to go to the bathroom and I have other stuff to do. I have to try to finish making a funny video, even though we're all crying right now.
I like that.
Let's do, where am I? Thanks for the stream today, Wyatt. It's been so fucking nice to sit and watch and chat with others who appreciate Ozzy. I went to work and normies were like, I heard about Ozzy, but I feel... I missed the end of that comment, but I feel like tonight's hangout with friends that felt the same. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I was hopefully that this could serve as some type of like comfort for fans just to get together and talk about it and everything. Because I saw some of my friends in the music industry were saying, like, in normal world, people either didn't even hear about it or were like, oh yeah, I heard that guy Ozzy passed away or whatever, and don't realize the impact of it. So yeah, it's been really nice. Thank you all for tuning in here and hanging out and listening to these ridiculous stories and sharing love and appreciation for the man, what he brought to the world, what he did for everybody, how he made breakfast.
Spine-chilling feeling, that goosebumps up the spine, you know, like you really got me. Da-da-da-da. It's like an orgasm, you know. When we toured with Kiss, they were like monsters, man. Lines up of chicks outside their rooms every night, you know. What's the matter with me? I'm trying to pull this.
A living legend.
Kids out there think you've got a guitar, you make a hit record, and you make...
Man, look at the 80s. Man, had this pimp-ass robe on, the hairspray. I wish I was alive for the 80s.
Millions of dollars, and you just live happily ever after. It isn't that way at all. It's like very hard work, very heartbreaking. You get your rewards and things. You do get a lot of things like gold disc, platinum disc, cars, houses, and you know. Then you got things like divorces, management rip-offs, fatigue, drugs, alcohol, you know, hangovers, and you got to go on the next night. You've been up all night burning your bridges, and you got to go. Hi guys, it's good to be back on stage again. You know, you're feeling like crap inside. You know? Very often I ask.
Brody said, best afternoon for me in a while. Thank you. That's really cool. I appreciate that. See how awesome and loving the metal community can be in times of tragedy. We all really come together.
What do they think I would be doing if I wasn't rock and roll? And I kept saying, you know, my answer to that is I'd probably be in prison.
Why is that?
Because I didn't want to get a regular job. I couldn't conform to any system. I didn't want to get a job I had several jobs in factories and, you know, different jobs. But rock and roll has got this sort of outlawish thing with it. You know, you can do what you want to. You don't have to get up and listen to some big fat baldy old fart telling you to take this box and stick it over there, you know.
So tell me about, you know,
listen to your fat balding managers.
what happened when all of a sudden you got rich and you could buy everything you wanted. And
Well, what happened? It didn't work out exactly like Cinderella. We started to think we were like gods. All went out and bought fast cars and everything. But we had a manager. And because we came from the back streets of Birmingham, we didn't have much of a business education.
Sharon says, 80s were fun, 70s were better. Really? I've asked a couple people, you know, older who've been through other periods what they thought their favorite decade was. A lot of people answered 80s, but I could see 70s as well. Where we're at.
Education. We let him con us, as it was. We got ripped off for lots of money in the early days, but we didn't care. We were seeing America. We were having fun, screwing as many groupies as we could, smoking as much dope, getting just out of it in general, and basically having a good time. And that was the fun years because we started to realize one day, hey, we must be earning a lot more than this guy's actually giving us.
So it's not all
No, it's not.
a pretty story.
It's hard bloody work, and you've got to be a businessman, and I'm not a businessman, you know. You know, I'm very fortunate to this day now. My wife is my manager. She knows the business, but I don't know the business side of rock and roll. I don't want to know it either. we came to America and we thought like drugs and all that was just a part of the gig, you know. You know, you just get stoned and you just get up and that make your gig and all that. And what happened with
he looks like he's on coke right there with his hair.
Black Sabbath? We all ended up junkies and alcoholics and everything. Like the drummer ended up in a rehabilitation center. I did for a while, and in the end, disaster happens. It's inevitable to happen, disaster, because it's like drugs. They were okay at the time, but we outgrew them. You know, we just we took LSD, we took cocaine, we took vast amounts of marijuana. It was fun at the time, but then we all just sort of it's not a very good idea anymore.
So you have a more stable life now?
No. You can't screw someone and think, all right, just lay that chick because she's going to go, honey, you're dead. You know? Frenzy and hatred.
What was the Betty Ford clinic like?
Boring. No, actually, the educational value was okay. It made me realize that I was an alcoholic and I am a drug addict. But I am an alcoholic and you always are, you know. It's
taking a long time to cook breakfast.
But you feel better now?
No.
Do you feel better? No. Drugs are terrible, so you feel better now without them? Not at all. Jesus. Man, I'm jealous of all the people in the chat saying that they were 80s kids. I bet you wouldn't trade it for anything, man. I grew up with the nostalgia of the 80s. It was a little 90s, early 2000s kid, so all the nostalgic 20-year-old stuff was 80s. Yeah, and even then I knew that it was a better time. I think this has been very healing for everyone. I hope so. I really do appreciate people saying that, feeling that way about the stream. Yeah, man. Obviously, we have to talk. This is a once-in-a-lifetime thing in a bad way. You know? Something that nobody wanted to happen. And is unfortunate. Yeah, fucking what else is there to say? Sorry, just catching up. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much everything. I thank you guys for joining the stream. It was really cool of you. Really nice to hang out here. It was really cool that we could all hang out for the Ozzy live stream of the concert and then be able to come here for this unexpected event. But man, peace, heroes get remembered, legends never die. Exactly. Ozzy's gone from this plane, but his legend will be forever for sure. He's an artist will always be talked about and always be played. Every rock bar, metal show, like forever, obviously, will know about Ozzy and his impact. It'll be interesting to see what tributes places do if they do build statues and whatnot of him. I hope so. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. If you want more fun, positive metal stuff, check out my band Dark Insanity. Check out my other videos. I'll have a new fun one up soon. And you can check out my other gaming channel where I throw up some dumb gaming clips here and there. Go pay your respects to Ozzy. Blast your favorite Black Sabbath album, Ozzy solo. Watch your favorite documentary. Watch that 9 Lives of Ozzy one. It's really good. I will see you all next week for hopefully a much more positive and funny podcast. And as you guys know, I usually end with Norm, but that would be distasteful for this moment. So like we did with the finale show, I'm going to end with this celebration to Ozzy and his life. Thank you, Ozman, for everything. I will see you all later.